Hill family. Hope you're doing well this week. Just want to share some thoughts from a passage that encouraged me a couple days ago. This is Revelation chapter 5. And I hope this examination of this passage encourages you, points you to Jesus. And I also hope that it kind of helps to take away some of the mystery of maybe the book of Revelation. I know that when Christians talk about the end times and what's going to happen at the end of history when there's a new heaven and a new earth, I hope this can help us see the big picture. That even though there's a lot of detail and there's a lot of speculation about metaphors and symbols from the book of Revelation, that ultimately our hope is secure because of the person of Jesus. So this is Revelation chapter 5. Start reading in verse 1. Then I saw in the right hand of him who was seated on the throne a scroll written within and on the back, sealed with 7 seals. Bit of context. So the person writing this is the Apostle John. He's seeing a vision of heaven. And what he sees is that there is God seated on the throne, and in God's hand there's a scroll. And a scroll is a message, right? And as you learn reading through the book of Revelation, you discover that the seals are God's enacting the full work of redemption, or the ending of history, as it were. It's the inauguration of his kingdom in full. And so this scroll needs to be opened so that the end of sin can be fully dealt with, the end of injustice, the end of sorrow and sickness, right? So the opening of this scroll is the beginning of the end for all the darkness and brokenness that we see. And someone's got to open it. Verse 2, I saw a mighty angel proclaiming with a loud voice, "Who is worthy to open the scroll and break its seals?" And no one in heaven or on earth or under the earth was able to open the scroll or look into it. So who can open God's message and declare this proclamation? Who is worthy to bring about God's full kingdom? Who is able to inaugurate this new era of dominion? Who's worthy? No one. Verse 4, I began to weep loudly because no one was found worthy to open the scroll or to look into it. And behold, one of the elders said to me, "Weep no more. Behold, the Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, has conquered so that he can open the scroll and its 7 seals." Now, if you're familiar with some biblical terminology, you'll pick up on who this elder is talking about. The Lion of the tribe of Judah, the root of David, the heir of David. And if you don't have a lot of familiarity with biblical terms, you can probably figure out who the elder is talking about. And we know that's where our gaze should be, and we know who's coming. We know who to expect now. But catch the switch, as it were. Catch what God does contrary to what you might expect. This is verse 6. And between the throne and the 4 living creatures and among the elders, I saw a lamb standing as though it had been slain. And the lamb went and took the scroll from the right hand of him who was seated on the throne. So we're told that there's no one who can enact God's kingdom. There's no one who can bring about this great ending of sin and sorrow and death. The one who's going to proclaim God's full redemptive message, the one who's going to inaugurate this new era, is a conquering champion. It's the root of David. It's the Lion. But what's the word picture we're given? A lamb standing as though it had been slain. A bleeding lamb. And I hope you feel the switch there. We're prone. We're being trained. It's almost like a trailer, right? Like we're setting the stage. No one's worthy. No one can do this. No one can bring about God's full plan of redemption. But there is one. Look, it's the Lion. It's the conquering warrior. It's a bleeding sacrificial lamb, and we know that's Jesus. And I would just encourage you to find strength in that the one at the center of it all is the one who was a sacrifice for us all. The one standing at the crux of the universe, the one who's going to reorder the cosmos and do away with all the evil and all the suffering and all the injustice, that one is the same one who bled and died to make you new and to make you whole. That should give us life. That should breathe into us some hope, because we know that the one who's going to bring about the fullness of God's kingdom and establish his reign for the rest of all eternity, it's the Lamb. It's the sacrificial king who gave his life for his people. We have a glorious and powerful king, and we have a glorious and powerful gospel.